Hello everyone, welcome back to our lectures. My name is Daniel from Huawei Global Training Center. This is the 9th chapter of our course, and in this chapter, we're going to introduce Loader, which is a tool used for ETL operations. In the past several years, before we used Hadoop for big data storage and analysis, we relied on relational databases like MySQL in almost all cases for data management. So generally speaking, until today, most data is still stored in structured data storage systems. But now we need to use Hadoop for big data analysis, so we need to load data from structured data storage systems into Hadoop. Meanwhile, we need to do some data transformation to meet the different demanding on the data structure. And that is why we need Loader for help. Again, before jumping into the main lecture, let's have a look at the objectives of this chapter first. We hope that after finishing this chapter, you could be able to understand what is Loader, some application scenarios of Loader, some main features, and the architecture of Loader, and finally, you could master how to use Loader to do the ETL jobs. Okay, firstly, let's have a look at the introduction of Loader. As we mentioned before, Loader is a tool used to do the ETL job between structured data storage systems and big data platforms. Maybe some of you have heard of Sqoop before. Indeed, Sqoop is just the community version of Loader, and the full name of Sqoop is just SQL to Hadoop. But if we want to use Sqoop, we have to write loads of commands, which is so inconvenient for the beginners. Instead, in Huawei MRS, we introduce Loader, which provides a visualized wizard-based interface. And then we just need some clicking and dragging to manage links and ETL operations. This is so friendly to all the users. As for the application scenarios, in short, Loader is just used for data transmission between the external storage systems and big data platforms. To be more specific, Loader allows the exchanging of data and files between MRS, relational databases, and file systems. It can import data from relational databases or file servers to HDFS, HBase, or Hive, or export data from HDFS or HBase or Hive of Hadoop to relational databases or file servers, or even use some plugins to extend some customized data sources. Besides, Loader also provides data import and export between HDFS, HBase, and Hive in the cluster. Next, let's have a look at the features of Loader. And basically, we can use 4 keywords to describe it. Firstly, graphical. This feature was just introduced before. Again, we mentioned that Loader provides a graphical user interface to manage jobs as well as command line interface for customers to schedule programs or automate scripts. Therefore, improves the convenience. Secondly, high performance. We said that Loader is deployed to manage all the ETL operations between different storage systems. But indeed, Loader uses MapReduce as its computing engine. So eventually, it transforms the ETL jobs into several map tasks and reduce tasks. And high performance indicates that Loader is suitable to do ETL jobs for a large amount of data, but please note that it does not necessarily mean Loader can finish the tasks in a very short time, because MapReduce is not fast at all. Alright? Thirdly, the high reliability. As we have emphasized, in order to deal with the single point of failure problem, Loader also uses active and standby deployment, or namely HA mode. Moreover, tasks are executed with MapReduce in Loader, and Loader also supports retry mechanism, which means that if the tasks are not executed successfully, Loader will keep retrying until the number of retries exceeds the limit. Besides, even if the job fails eventually, the data will be deleted automatically without any procedures. And as for the last feature, secure, this feature needs to be configured in MRS Manager with the help of Kerberos as the permission authentication tool. These 4 features describe Loader very well, and they are essential for acquiring more comprehensive understanding of Loader. Finally, the first section is going to end here with a brief introduction of the architecture of Loader. From the architecture, we can basically tell that the Loader module consists of 2 main parts, the Loader client and the Loader server. In general, we are free to download Loader client as the management tool or use the web UI instead. And indeed, the two methods go through the RESTful API eventually to communicate with the loader server. And in the load server, we can see a lot of tools. Firstly, job scheduler. It is just a simple job scheduling module which supports periodical execution of loader jobs. Besides, there are three engines, which are transform engine, execution engine, and submission engine. The transform engine just processes data transformation, including the field combination, string cutting, string reversing, and so on. The execution engine provides detailed processing logic of MapReduce jobs. And the submission engine submits jobs to MapReduce for parallel computation. So basically, we can conclude that Loader just uses these three engines for compiling as well as optimizing the ETL jobs into map tasks and reduce tasks. As for the job manager, it is responsible for all the management works like creating, querying, updating, deleting, activating, deactivating, starting, and stopping jobs. Besides, we can see the metadata repository and HA manager here. For metadata repository, it stores and manages all the metadata, and HA manager manages the active and standby status. Okay, if you find it slightly difficult to follow all the description of all components, don't worry, you can have a look at this table as a reference. And basically, it is quite similar to what I have just introduced. Okay, that's all for the first section about the basic introduction to Loader. Next, in the second section, we can have a look at how can we use Loader to do the ETL jobs between the structured data storage systems and big data platforms.